Interesante
So Jaime,
indeed.
you watched the game. Was it a red card or not? Because all the
Uh,
U.S. boys are telling me it was not.
they had it right the first time, although it was, you know, it looked like it could have probably been a goal had he not tackled him. I don't think he was the last defender. And they went back and reviewed the decision and overturned the yellow and turned it into a red. And it's unfortunate, you know. I think you hate to for that to be a talking point of a championship. Like, oh well, if we would have been full 11-on-11, this could have gone differently. But nonetheless, you know, we backed Infantino, so we kind of expected something in return, and happened last night with that red card.
Hold on, are
But
you telling me that we're going down the Argentina run?
Hey man,
this is a CONCACAF tournament.
Messi is
So-
you know, he might retire from football. His father passed away, we don't know, and they're going to need a new poster boy for the next decade or two, and Gil Mora could be that guy, and Mexico can
CONCACAF is against Mexico. Why and Infantino? So why would they favor Mexico for backing Infantino? The opposite should have happened. They should have recorded Mexico.
Wait, pero el lambe huevos de Mikel Arriola is there.
Yeah, but it's a CONCACAF tournament. It's not a FIFA under 20. It's a CONCACAF qualifier.
We already deposited the check. They can't refund it.
Mikel Arroyo had the most unwelcoming presence in the sort of celebrations after. I had never seen an entire stadium boo that loud at one person. And, you know, this is also because the fact that they're doubling down on the relegation and promotion. They're saying they're not going to open the doors, and La Liga de Expansion's been obviously, you know, protesting, refusing to play the first minute of the match. They're getting louder and louder. So Mikel Arroyo he's not the most popular president right now in Liga MX.
Hold on, but FMF is also fining them for that.
I
FMF
bet they
has
are.
been fining the clubs for that little 1 minute protest that they're doing. Now, so what they're doing is that the players are having like community events or local activations with their supporters, and they're asking them to wear all black to the stadiums. Like, don't wear our jerseys, don't wear any of that stuff, wear all black. If you want Ascenso y Descenso to come back, wear this.
I don't think that's going to do anything, but hey, you know, showing unity and support. But at the end of the day, like, these decisions are done at the executive and board level, and all this protesting, yeah, they're just going to start penalizing them, you know, with money and fines, and eventually it'll go away.
You know what I was thinking the moment that I saw that first protest? Was, ¿dónde putas está la Copa MX? Y no por lo deportivo ni nada de eso, güey. Más que nada porque quiero ver a Guiñac meter goles.
Yeah.
All right, because last time Guiñac faced a team that launched a protest like this, he fucking scored 2 goals.
Well, it was Veracruz, right? Because they were unpaid wages. They were all owed a lot of money.
Ahí estás, papá.
Yeah. So then he decided to score a couple goals during that.
Was that the same game with the possum?
Could have been, man. Veracruz is a magical place.
No, it wasn't the one with the possum, but it was the one with that like terrifying fucking mascot that Veracruz has or had. It was like, do you guys remember that cartoon in the 90s that was a bunch of sharks? They were like half shark, half people. That's what their mascot was, and it was the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Sounds kinky.
Oh, they were called Street Sharks.
Street Sharks.
There we go. Wait,
I just saw that intro.
I had to
never
Google
saw the
that,
cartoon.
bro. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I never saw an extra episode. Just like that intro.
Bro, now look up the one of like the humanoid rats that ride Harleys. That's
I remember that one too.
that's another one.
Intro. It's also just the intro. I never saw like a full episode.
Oh my god. I don't remember that
You know,
one.
speaking about this Ascenso thing, Beto Valdez, he's a former professional player. He tweeted that how he was playing with Cruz Azul, and then he tore both his Achilles tendons. So they sent him to Cruz Azul Hidalgo to recover, and he just assumed his whole career was over. He's like, how am I going to get back to Primera División? Like, once you're in Ascenso, you know, it's basically like purgatory. But while being down there, he found his way. And some of the teammates that he had in Hidalgo were guys like Wiki, Aaron Galindo, Ricardo Osorio, Melvin Brown. And he was saying what was beautiful about Censo is that you could be on a team like Hidalgo that was not trying to win promotion, but was there to develop players. But you were also going to these away stadiums like Merida, Durango, Colima that were packed because their fans had the illusion that they could be promoted. And by taking that away, you're also taking away that like high pressure moment from the development of players. Because now they're playing for Tapatio and who knows who else with no pressure, empty stadiums. So, you know, it also kills the growth of the game, the growth of your players in that way.
It's a bit of BS. I mean, it's been 6 years already with no pro, no relegation, and even when there was, what would we see that majority of these teams couldn't even afford to be in first division and would just sell the team or the franchise, I should say. And we saw the teams, some of them like Mazatlan, they didn't win promotion. Where is this? Where was all this crying about we're killing the game and all this stuff when Mazatlan was allowed to do that? Puebla was allowed to buy their way back in. Veracruz,
But
you
that's
know,
a different
it's
conversation.
up
What I'm
to
talking about is
it's
Tapatio right now. They play La Paz in an empty stadium, or they play La Paz with a packed stadium because La Paz is hunting down promotion in the final weeks of the tournament. As a player, as your Tapatio player, like you're in charge of Chivas, in what environment do you prefer your players to be in?
yeah, it's romanticized too much, man.
Here's the deal, Hoyle. You're arguing the business side of it.
No, I'm
Habibi's
not,
arguing
bro.
the
I'm
sporting
not arguing
merit
the
side of it.
No,
Because
both,
what
bro.
happens is a shitty organization that is willing to sell off its own the labors of their fruit is a shitty organization.
It's not that they're shitty. Most of these teams don't make money.
It's poor money management. Why? Because
No,
half of the time
no,
it's
no.
fucking
Even
narcos that are
it's
doing
not.
this shit.
That's how they win in. But even when you look at the biggest teams in Liga MX, it's not so much because of how many people they bring in the stadium. It's the big companies backing them up. So they're all tied to a big company, and that's what puts them up there, where they don't even have to rely so much. But the teams that don't have that backing, they're not, the money just isn't there. Even Chivas, when they make money from jersey sales or like from sponsorships and all that, it's pretty much peanuts. They don't make that much money that
Yeah,
like the big teams make.
I'll give you the perfect example, Hoyle. You want to talk about these institutions that back the clubs and this and that. What about Pumas? Pumas has a major institution behind them, and yet consistently they suck ass.
Well, it's just it's
All
kind of
right,
interesting
that's just
because
the poor management of the situation.
I don't know about poor management because it's like even if you're managed well, like a Pachuca, they still have a ceiling because they're still not going to be able to get that much more money, for sponsors and all of that stuff. And that money went down once all these contracts went to pay for TV subscriptions, like satellite or whatever. That money went down as opposed to like Chivas could sell their sponsor and their jersey for a lot of money when they were on Open TV because that was 11 million views guaranteed. And now they didn't have that anymore. It got chopped up in pieces to all the different, that they were showing Chiva games. Like how many people realistically have Prime, Amazon Prime in Mexico? I doubt it's anywhere near the 11 million. So that's that. Like ultimately, that's why, and then that's why you have so many moleros, so many games, and that's why they're playing Leagues Cup because they're very reliant on the money from the U.S. If it was just Mex, a lot of these teams would be folding, or we just wouldn't be able to afford the type of squads that they have.
Hold on. Are you telling me that Mexico survives off of remesas?
Remesas?
Yeah, the money that we send back home.
No, because they come to play here. So
yeah, the U.S. dollars that end up funneling their way back to Mexico.
Well, yeah, that's why they play so many games. You come here, you need to sell your product here, so they can watch it on TV. That little kid gets to go watch America play, and then he's more likely to then see it on TV than if he's never seen them play live.
I don't know, man. I think the thing with like you brought them up, Pachuca, right? Their ceiling, bro, is so fucking high. Let's not forget they're the only team. They're the only team that has won the Sudamericana. They're the only team that has gone and realistically in like the old format finished second place in the Club World Cup, or what used to be the Club World Cup. Because they went and they beat the Asians, they beat the Africans, they beat the Brazilians, and the only ones que les echaron tiro fue Real Madrid.
Wait, you're gonna need to fact check that because Jürgen Damm tells me that Tigres es el único subcampeón mexicano del mundo.
Really? You want to bring Jürgen into this one?
I'm just saying.
But when did he make that? Maybe when he made that comment.
He's been saying a lot of hot takes lately, and that's one of them.
Este es el mismo pendejo que se estaba quejando de cuánto vale un car wash en San Francisco. No mames, bro. Un puto car wash con el sueldo de un futbolista.
Dude, yeah, Jürgen had I didn't listen to his comments, but he was criticizing, right? Like, what is a Mexican, and what was really I don't know, man.
He said if you're not born in Mexico,
Chivas no son mexicanos de verdad, que son estadounidenses.
What they are. He said you have to be born in Mexico to be considered Mexican, and that's just fact. That's not saying that you can't be, that you're not ethnically Mexican or culturally, but you're not. No, you don't have the passport. You're not, bro. I'm sorry.
No. What do you mean don't have the passport?
You could go and get it. You need to go get it.
He said
you need
to
go get it.
At Chivas, Joel. You're telling me the Mexican players at Chivas don't have their Mexican passport?
I don't know, to be honest.
They do. They have to get the Mexican passport to play for Chivas. He wasn't talking about Mexicans in general. He said los jugadores mexicanos de Chivas que nacieron en Estados Unidos no son mexicanos. He was talking about the players specifically, and the Constitution tells him that he's an idiot. But according to the Constitution, they have their Mexican passport. They don't need to take a naturalized test or anything. They just walk into the consulate and walk out.
Hold on.
You just have to prove your parents. You have to prove your parents were born in Mexico.
If that's the line you want to take, the Mexican Constitution also states that every 18-year-old must register for their military service, and that they need to have their matrícula militar, su cartilla militar, in order to be eligible to vote, to be eligible to get a Mexican passport, to be eligible to get a
There you go.
Mexican driver's license. All right. I of which have all of them. All right. Entonces, no mames, güey. Y si quieres uno más, if you want to be a real Mexican, you have to get chased by a rabid dog coming back from the carniceria. You need to have one of your cousins get disappeared in northern Mexico, and you need to be able to open a beer with your teeth.
You also have to have that weird immunization thing on your arm or shoulder.
Yeah, bro, you need to have that crater
I've
in your
seen
arm.
it.
You
My
need,
parents had
you
that.
need that mercury love
Peter
bite.
Unfortunately, out of my like
Peter
Mexican
Lice has to live in
checklist,
the roof.
that's the one that I'm missing. I'm missing the crater in my arm.
You could still go get it, bro. You go to
No, wait.
Dr. Simi.
No, hey, you know what? I did grow up going to Dr. Simi.
Dr. Simi.
No, man, it's like confusing business with a sporting aspect. You're confusing culture with being a true Mexican citizen or not. The fact that they're able to get that citizenship in 20 minutes just by walking into the consulate makes them Mexican. If you want to argue about what culture they have or don't have, if you know chicken nuggets are better than chicharrón, that's a whole different
It's a
conversation.
whole different ball game. Puro chicken.
Mira, wait. Here's my Mexican test, all right? And it doesn't even go that deep. It's fucking simple. Are you eating Taco Bell or are you eating tacos de canasta?
Who hasn't had Taco Bell at 3 a.m. drunk?
If we
There
had
you
if
go.
we had
No,
accessible tacos de canasta where I live, bro, I would obviously that'd be an obvious choice, but they're hard to find out here.
I think Jurgen didn't explain it right because I know he was trying to make some point. So I know he was trying to give some flowers to some other team that had their canteranos or Mexican born players, because that's sort of like, see, this wasn't such an issue when Tena said that the Pochos here had better mentality, and no one was out to get him for that or to defend the Mexicans in Mexico. So it's kind of to me it's along the lines kind of the same thing, where I see what he's saying, where these players that come in, yeah, they're Mexican for all these things, but they're not Mexican made. You know what I mean? They weren't coming from the Mexican system.
You're twisting.
Well, they're
it
not
so
from the
bad.
canteras, from all that. They're not.
Well, you're twisting it so bad.
I'm not. And you know what? And I said in like I think the last podcast or the one before, how when MLS came up, I thought that it was going to get filled with Mexican players. I thought it was going to be like Mexicans were going to be like the RGs of the league, where if you saw Mexican going to some team, it was going to be some, a good name player to improve the team. And it kind of didn't happen for many reasons. But now we're seeing the opposite, where we're seeing more and more Pochos going into Liga MX. So it's that the opposite is happening.
Es que Joel también, güey. You have to recognize the gringofication of Mexico. All right? It's already happened to El DF.
Yeah.
All right? So much so that it's not even El Distrito Federal anymore. We named it after what the gringos used to call it. Ciudad de México. Mexico City. All right? And the second one, the one that hurts the most, espérate, güey, the one that hurts the most, talking about the gringofication of Mexico, is the fact that there's a Chipotle that's now open in Monterrey and it's doing fucking numbers.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that bothers me, bro.
Except the gringofication. How is it different than the most Mexican team being shown by an American company, Amazon Prime?
Yeah, bro. I mean, Mexico's been whoring out for quite some time. Even back to the colonial days when we gave up all our gold and shit. But the title of today's episode is Leagues Cup Torture, and yes, it has been quite torturous for certain teams. For others, it's been business as usual. But let me just go over the teams that are already eliminated from Leagues Cup on the Liga MX side: Atlas, San Luis, Necaxa, Pachuca, Puebla, Pumas, Tijuana, Santos, Querétaro, and of course Chivas, all eliminated just after 2 fixtures. Chivas, they tied against LAFC, then they went to PKs and lost the shootout, and then was it on Saturday? They had a very painful defeat against FC Dallas in a neutral venue, which was over here in San Jose. The fans showed up. They really had an impressive attendance and did everything to support their side. And Chivas have not been able to score, and they are eliminated from Leagues Cup. The teams that are still in it, Juarez, out of all teams, Tigres, Toluca, Monterrey, Cruz Azul, and America. And a caveat there, Toluca and America, and I think Monterrey have all had games in Mexico, and that's evidently gone really well for them.
Hold on, before we get too deep into this, I just have a quick question. Jaime, did you go cover that match? Because when I was asking for somebody to please explain to me the format of how this whole thing works, you were awfully quiet, dude. So were you there? Were you shooting it live?
No. Yeah, Leagues Cup were, for some reason, being little bitches this time around. And yeah, they didn't allow us to get in as press, so I watched it from the TV.
They had some issue where they sent out a bunch of approval.
They did.
And it happened to a lot of people because I talked to other journalists. They also hit me up, and I didn't apply, but you guys had told me what had happened, and I was like, yeah, it happened.
We got emails. We got emails
I
that we
don't know
were.
what that fuckery was.
Yeah, we got emails that we were approved, and then they got an email saying, "Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. No, you were denied." So,
bro, I was
He must have
approved
approved
2
everyone.
times.
He went Oprah.
Like I was saying, I was approved twice, denied once, and then got an email like hours later. You know what? Let me set you the time frame. I got approved, I want to say on Thursday, got denied on Friday, got approved again on Saturday, and then hours later, Saturday afternoon, I was told, no, this is our official answer. You're denied.
yeah.
Damn. Sounds like
Yeah, well, if you're gonna have that experience, at least it was with Leagues Cup, and not like an STD test. It comes back negative, and they tell you they messed up. It's positive.
In the end, look, it's Leagues Cup. We had covered it successfully 2-3 years in a row. So this happens from time to time. You're never guaranteed to get access. And, you know, it's always a humbling reminder that we need to keep grinding. And we appreciate everyone's support listening to Cantina. But yeah, it's been quite torturous for Chivas. Let's, not beat around the bush. They've had a terrible showing. And the biggest concern for me is the lack of goals from one man in particular, Hormiga. He hasn't scored in, I believe, 11 games going back to last season. And it's starting to take a toll on him with Chivas being eliminated and playing against Seattle. And we are also reincorporating some of the U20 guys like Samir Inda, Camberos, and who was the last guy? Santi Sandoval. Would it be best for them to just take everybody out and put the reserves in? Because I don't want to come back to Liga MX with any injuries.
I mean, let's be honest. What are you guys playing for? Like, orgullo? Por favor, señores Chivas. Prestigio? No mames, güey. Todavía más chistoso. Si algo, a lo que es...
That's the Chivas preseason.
No mames, güey. Antes de que empezara el torneo andaban todos acá de que no. La nómina más cara de México. No, míranos cómo estamos jugando. Estamos con madre en la liga. Que vamos a ganar. Y que quién sabe qué. Y luego, güey. ¿Qué pasó?
No, yeah, that always happens, man. They built the team up, and then when it doesn't meet those expectations, we burn it down.
You know
I
what
think the
Chivas is
season's still
reminding me
young.
of right now? Is that age-old adage or age-old American adage of shit in one hand and hope in the other and see which one fills up faster.
Ouch.
No,
Oigan,
The season's
yo,
young,
yo,
though, man.
yo tengo,
Season's
yo tengo
still
una
young.
pregunta para los chivistas.
Yes. Shoot.
¿Cuándo van a regresar los mundialistas? When are they back, bro? What's going on?
The
well,
La base de la selección.
Preseason, my God.
the
Oye, ¿y
you're
cuándo,
inventing, dude.
cuándo llegan los refuerzos?
Piojo has been the only one that has maintained that form from the World Cup.
Yeah.
Hormiga, well, he only got 20 minutes in the World Cup, and that whole like concentration camp did nothing to it did nothing to benefit him in particular. Took him out of form, took him out of the hot run he was running. He was at with Chivas.
He was already out of form, though.
Nah, but dude, he scored 12 goals in the regular season. I mean, it's not like he was coming off of a terrible campaign.
Because last like 4 games or 3 games, he couldn't score.
It was 5.
That's not terrible form.
He
Five,
had
there you go.
Joel,
I mean, but he wasn't on point.
that season is the reason he made it to the World Cup. I mean, he was not going. He wasn't even.
Yeah, but
He wasn't even planning on.
the last 5 games, not being able to score, he fizzled out.
I got a hot take, man. So here's what happened. After Mexico got eliminated and he was crying like a little bitch and he ran up to Chicha, that caress que le dio Chicha, just where he like le dio un masajito al cachete, ahí mero, güey, le pasó toda la
Yeah.
mufa, toda
He
la
cursed
mala
him.
suerte right there.
He cursed him, man. He's got the bad juju. He needs to get it out.
Well,
Es que, wait,
I
when
think
you
that-
cry, you let weakness into your body. And that is what Chicha exploited, and just exploded all over him.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm gonna flat out say it. You know, if Milito fails to get a championship out of this squad, this would be considered a failure, a massive, massive failure. And there's no excuses. We have the refuerzos, we have the squad, and it's up to him to get this shit figured out. And, you know, I said it before the season started, give us until like Jornada 10 to get shit going, because you could tell that they rushed this process of getting the seleccionados back to Jornada 1, where they should have honestly been rested and getting that break. And there's been a lot of coaches complaining about Leagues Cup that they don't want it. Loquito Abreu, he said, hey, man, we're not a fucking meat factory, bro. Like, these guys are gassed. Like, what do you want us to do? Like, MLS teams have the benefit of, you know, being at home and being with their family. We're over here traveling and not having, you know, we have to train and then catch a flight. It's like, it's just a lot of, you know, a lot of fatigue, and it's only benefiting MLS. And, you know, I think we've had so many additions that there's a big question mark surrounding this. Like, why are we still doing this? And I don't know if they're going to go back after this tournament ends and regroup and say, hey, should we continue this? Like, let's see what the numbers say. Let's see what the ticket sales and the money. But honestly, like, this has honestly been such an inconvenience. And for me, I would be happy if they just said, yeah, let's just get rid of it altogether.
Here's the deal,
You know,
man.
MLS fans have been saying the same thing. They wanted to capitalize on the hype of all the Freddies visiting America that might want to tune in to the local league. And they're like, why did we play for like 2 weeks? And now we're doing this Leagues Cup that no one understands. Foreigners don't understand. Like, it's just killing the momentum of the league. So it seems like neither side, as far as fan base, is too content with Leagues Cup.
But
Now-
are you guys not content? Hold on. Are you guys not content because of the results? Or like, would you guys be feeling the same way if you guys had 3 wins? Like, let's be honest. Let's keep it real.
Regardless of
I'm
the
not
results.
talking about Chivas fans. I'm talking about the Mexican fan
Right.
in general.
The thing about it is this tournament has no prestige and there's zero incentive for Mexican teams to do well. I know that there's like prize
Yeah,
money.
That's what
Gonzalo.
we said about Copa MX.
No,
Wait.
no. Let me.
Yo, you know what?
Chivas already in CONCACAF Champions Cup, so there's no incentive for them to do well in this tournament.
You know what, man? I wish we had more diversity in like here with us right now, because I would love to hear what a Juarez fan has to say about this tournament.
You really think Juarez cares too? I mean, they've
Wait,
Yeah.
no mames.
Yeah,
Juarez
they
is
do.
the one that goes out there and defends the Mexican pride through and through in every single iteration of this tournament that we've had.
This is like some like conference league shit, you know that like other tournament that they created over there in UEFA. They already had Champions League, they already had Europa League, and then they created this conference league one that like no one really gives a fuck about, and no one really understands how how teams qualify to that. And then there's like the West Hams of the world that are taking that tournament very serious. That's what Juarez is doing, bro.
Well, yeah, you want
And
want
then
a
Diaz,
championship
who has
for your
Juarez
fans.
beat? Vancouver, and who was the other team? They beat us.
And tell me, who plays at the Whitecaps?
No.
Who's their
no,
biggest
sorry.
name there?
Oh, they beat Minnesota. They beat Minnesota and Vancouver. The point I'm going at is before Leagues Cup started, there was a rumor that Juarez ownership wants to sell the team because the money is just what they're spending is not doesn't make it beneficial to what's coming in. And if you're Juarez and you're playing in the US and you're showing yourself off against all these teams that live in better cities, why wouldn't you ball out? Like, hey, buy me, save me, take me out of here. Like, why wouldn't you do that? It makes sense. I would too. I would be playing my best soccer, so hopefully I can get out of Juarez and go live in Vancouver.
That's a really fresh take there, Habibi. They're all just trying out to win the lottery, win the MLS lottery.
To get by the MLS team.
So then, are you saying that Chivas sandbagged this tournament?
No, I'm not talking about Chivas. Chivas has been, the result has not been there, but I'm going to tell you what I said under Milito's first tournament. The team is playing well. They're getting some stupid mistakes. I remember Diva was doing stupid penalties, and this time around is Romo who's doing stupid penalties. But every game except the Toluca game, they have dominated. They have more possession, more corners, more shots on target. If Chivas right now had a striker that was in form, I think we'd be winning most of the games. But what are our strikers? Hormiga, that's out of form. Marin, who's not that good.
Sepulveda.
Sepulveda, that's older and not that good. If we had a good
Whoa!
striker
Hold
right now,
on!
I think we'd be cooking.
Yo,
We're
all last
creating.
season, all I heard was how you fleeced Cruz Azul for Sepúlveda, que Sepúlveda es el más grande, que Cruz
Who the
Azul es un
fuck said
montón de
that?
pendejos,
Nah.
que quién sabe qué.
Bro, what hallucinations are you talking about, man?
Yeah, you're probably thinking about Romo. You're thinking about Romo. Or
That's
Pio.
another pendejo. Hey, how'd that penalty kick go?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's terrible.
Hey, it worked out though. Romo went to the World Cup with us. Chiquete watched it from his couch.
The biggest robbery we pulled with Cruz Azul was Piojo. That one, man, dude. We definitely came up on that one.
It's all good, bro. We already took his firstborn.
We
Actually, it
have
wasn't even born yet.
longtime listener Ray Orozco wants to chime in on this Leagues Cup conversation. We'll see if he's able to get patched in. Ray Orozco, feel free to speak up if you get the chance.
Yeah. I've never liked this adoption of this Leagues Cup, and more it's less because of the timing that it is. I've always felt it robs the big Mexican clubs from playing global superpowers in the United States. I mean, I would love to see Club America versus Boca Juniors in a friendly in Miami. I'd like to see Chivas versus Real Madrid in Chicago. I think that does a much better job of growing the Liga MX team to a global audience instead of playing an MLS team in front of all Chivas crowd at both games.
But
When
you
it
know what, Ray? Those games would happen in preseason, not once the season started. You never really saw a Mexican team go and play, like a big international friendly.
No, that's not true. Barcelona came and played it here, and Chivas actually had to play a reserve team in the league game because Barcelona doesn't play friendlies. They play at the LA Coliseum in front of almost 90,000 fans, if you remember, about 10
Man, but
years ago.
then
Uh,
you're not gonna
yeah,
find more examples, bro. You,
Well,
it's
the
rare. It's really rare. You're not
Li-
gonna see it that much.
Liga MX had to they had to accelerate. I mean, normally they would have had more of a break between the World Cup and their first game of the season, but because of League's Cup, they had to expedite the league and start it quicker. At least get like three or four league games in before breaking off to League's Cup. So it has been an inconvenience for Liga MX sides, and then them having to travel while MLS teams are just chilling at home. And the is it 2 or 3 games that were in Mexico? I mean, they talked about the atmosphere, saying how they had never seen something like that ever in the world. Like Bombonera, they spoke really well of that. And America also had a favorable result against San Diego. We had Sombrerito actually at the game yesterday, his Portland Timbers long life fan. He was there and he was overwhelmed by the amount of takeover from America. I don't know if he's able to speak on that, Sombrerito, but welcome.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Well, we're not going there yet. Hold on. I do have a question. First of all, fuck you. No, I don't hate the Timbers. I don't like the Timbers though. Like, and we'll talk about that. But I did want to ask: is Chivas in a crisis right now? Because if you take out the playoff games, in your last 10 matches, you guys have won twice, and one of those matches was against Juarez, which was like a last minute goal. So I want to know.
I mean, define a crisis, right? Because for me, the results haven't been going our way, and I would be concerned if the footballing was also a reflection of that. But we have been extremely dominant in their performance. We've been very aggressively offensively, and the goals haven't been coming in. And that's something that can get fixed, So I think like the actual team is playing fine. It's just the final third they haven't been able to get it in, and that's something that will course correct as we go through the rest of the season. We also haven't had a full team yet. We've had some of our seleccionados from the under 20. They haven't been reincorporated back in the team. So, like I said, let's talk about this Jornada 10, and we'll see if we're in a crisis.
That's Liga MX as itself, though. That's Liga MX in a nutshell, anyways.
But for Sombrerito,
you just have.
If that was America's result, they would be called the crisis.
Thank you, Jolie. That's the point.
Now, hold on. Here. Give me the tag. Wait, give me the tag.
That's Liga MX. That's Liga MX in a nutshell. Look at when's the last time? How often does the number 1 seed win the tournament itself? How often does, if you're playing hot, I would just say in playoff sports in general.
Look, Ray,
when you're the hot hand at the right time, generally, as long as you get into the playoffs, you have a chance.
I would agree with you, but I took out the games from Liguilla, right? Because that's when they were at disadvantage. That's when they're part of their team left, right?
But that's nonsensical because it's a playoff structured league.
But we're talking if you had they played 4 games, right, Jaime? 4 games in Liguilla. They made it to semifinals.
Yeah, we beat Tigres and then we lost.
Yeah, you guys in those 4 Liguilla games, you guys won once, right? So in the last 14 official matches you guys have, whether you have players or not, you won 3 games. That 14 matches, that is almost a season long. That's almost a season. Ooh. That seems to be, that seems to be a pattern now, or it's not even a pattern. It's a thing.
Now here, Sombrerito, really quickly, I'll help you define a crisis. a team who doesn't generate goals. Most importantly, a team who's able to generate 14 corner kicks without being able to capitalize a single one. And this isn't the sum of like their games thus far. This is just their game against Juarez. So is Chivas under a crisis?
It's not a crisis yet.
I don't think so either. I think they've been playing pretty good play. It just the goals haven't come, and I agree in that aspect. But like I said, I've also felt like this is a playoff structured tournament. I think you're looking at it very differently. There's you tell me, I think it would be a massive crisis if they backdoor their way into the Liga. At eighth place, winning one win in their last three games. What if they go into the playoffs they're winning their last three games to get the eighth place seed? I think that's you can look at it very differently. A 3 game span can be looked very differently at the end of the season to the beginning of the season. And from my personal opinion, I just personally feel that we're competitive in the league. And for a long time, when we were not competitive, people dogged on Chivas and trying to implement changing the policy that they needed to change the policy. And I think this last Copa Torneos has shown that they have proven the naysayers wrong and not happy to adopt the changing of the policy. And for anybody who criticizes them playing Mexicans born abroad, what if they're coming from, people who work in government, kids who work in the government who were born abroad? And what are they're not Mexican because their parents were doing work for the country?
Well, okay. Beef. Okay, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. But I guess the way I'm looking at this is Jaime instantly brought out the excuses. He brought out the fact that they don't have an 18-year-old kid that doesn't even play at Chivas. These are MLS teams. America came to Portland. Obviously, they played as the away team. And what they do, they won 3-1. We started a 18, 19-year-old kid at our striking position. I was like, why are we? I came here for Henry, and they played this fucking kid I don't give a fuck about. Oh, I was so mad. I was like, what are we doing? We went out there with subs. It wasn't our starting 11, and we won 3-1. That's all I'm saying. There's no excuses.
So you're saying that's why Almada is the coach, and that's why you're here?
What do you mean by that?
Que él sabe de fútbol y tú no. You were questioning his lineup, his tactics.
No. I was questioning why the fuck he would do. I paid to go see Henry. I didn't go pay to see a fucking 18, 19-year-old kid, bro. Oh, that shit. Imagine that. Imagine you go. Who's your favorite Chivas player? I don't know. Fucking Piojo. You go watch him in St. Louis or whatever the fuck, and then Piojo's on the bench, and then you got some fucking random ass 18-year-old kid. You're gonna be pissed.
Actually, no. My favorite Chivas player is Santi Sandoval. So I would be happy with the 18-year-old.
Okay, but you understand my point. And Ray, I do have a question for you. Are you a Cowboys fan?
No, I'm born and raised in Wisconsin. I hate the Cowboys. I'm a Packer fan.
We'll see. Like I said, we do play Santos on Sunday. They have yet to win a game. If we fail to win that game, all right, we'll have to have a conversation then.
It's also about how you present the numbers. You say 2 wins in the last 10. It's also there's 4 or 5 draws in there as well. That's where it tells me that it's just a matter of contundencia, finishing those opportunities. All of a sudden you have 6 wins and 4 losses. So I don't think the team is doing terrible as you're trying to make it out to be. I still think that I know that we will be in Liguilla. I know the team will get better. It's just a matter of everything coming together. Like Jaime said, having those youth players that have been critical for the team. It's not just saying you wish some 18-year-old was on the team. No, Santi Sandoval has been critical for the team. He was critical during the regular season and he was critical during Liguilla. He's one of the reasons we thought we could make it to the final. So I think once everybody comes together and Milito has, I'll give you a perfect example. Crespo from Atlas. He said that he needs between 20 to 25 sessions to implement his style with the Atlas roster. But due to all the travel with Liguilla, that he has only had 1 or 2 sessions max. So if he can say that he hasn't had a full squad, why can't we say it?
Because he's a new coach, and you guys have basically the same team you did last season. Besides, like what, 2 players?
Same team on paper, but not together. They're always missing for various reasons, whether it's U20, national team, or whatever the case might be. How many times, how many weeks has he actually had the full 26 week in, week out for a good 5, 6 weeks?
Bro, nah, that just sounds like an excuse. And I get it. Okay, they're
It's
playing they're
not an
playing
excuse.
they're
I'm
playing
telling you
fairly
that
well.
he's about to have them, and when he does have them in these upcoming weeks, things are going to turn around, and I'm going to be here to tell you, I told you so.
Okay, America right now is doing well, right? But if we weren't doing well and I said, no, es que no tenemos a Cendejas, you guys would not let me say that. You guys were talking about, oh, you guys are broke. Those are excuses, all this shit. But Cendejas is a very, very important piece to America, and he's not here.
I
He
mean,
is, but you know who he's not important to? Pochettino, who got renewed with the U.S.
needless to say, Chivas should be winning these matches. I mean, LAFC, they're a respectable side. That one's a coin flip, but Dallas, come on, man. And based on what we saw in that game, that game should have been an easy victory for us, but it wasn't. And you know what? It's fine. It's not like we want to continue in this tournament. Let's finish out with Seattle. Let's rotate the entire team and let's get back to League at Yankees, bro. Like, fuck this tournament, bro. Seriously.
Wait, just because you can't win it. Ya, güey. Por favor. Porque mira, de todos los pendejos que están aquí, ¿quién es el único que tiene una Leagues Cup en su vitrina?
Bro, nobody cares
Yo,
about this
papá.
tournament.
Because you can't win it.
Even if we won it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Which, by the way, I think that's why a team like Juarez goes hard, because like they don't really have a chance in Liga MX, and they would hypothetically, they probably have a much higher chance to win this.
And they got a chance to go to CONCACAF Champions League. So they're one of the few teams that are eligible, right? Most of these guys are already in. But yeah, Juarez, aside from the money, good for them. Good for Atlanta too. They've been doing well. And yeah, it is what it is, bro.
But let me talk about Soccer City USA, bro. Let's talk about it. I was impressed with just how many fucking beaners I saw. It looked like I remember when I went to go to the Estadio Azteca some years ago, and walking up to the stadium, there's just a bunch of vendors. There's a bunch of people selling fake jerseys, hats, merch, all types of shit, food. And yo, they turned Portland into Little Mexico, bro. It was beautiful to see. It was yo, la grandeza de la América. We took over Portland, bro.
Yeah, and there was somebody from the Portland team that was complaining. It's like, how the hell did we get outnumbered in our own stadium? I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of Timbers fans, I really think they weren't expecting this. And one of the things that I saw, because there were so many Mexicans there, but they weren't supporting Timbers. Now that there's Timbers fans that are like, okay, how do we connect with Mexicans? How do we have them kind of like not maybe leave the Liga MX teams behind, but also support Timbers? And I was thinking, and I was like, bro, America has never had a good Mexican player. The biggest star, the biggest Mexican star Timbers have ever had was I think his name's Jose Van Ranking. Do you guys remember that guy?
Yeah.
And that's sad because there's a lot of Mexicans here, and if that's the biggest Mexican player that we've had, that's despicable. Like they have to do better. And even that shit, get somebody. They should have been in on Chucky Lozano. They should have been in on, maybe like a fringe national team player, but they've never had that, which is crazy to me.
Maybe they got burnt with Cabecita Rodriguez. They're like, never again.
No. I mean, but Cabecita was recently, but I'm talking about a Mexican player.
I know,
but LAFC always has theirs. LA Galaxy always has.
He comes from America and Liga MX, so I feel like that's a good temperature check right there, right? If you're an America fan like yourself, like you're the prime audience for like a player like Cabecita Rodriguez. Obviously, he's not Mexican, but he played for America and did well there, right? He did okay. You would think.
I never tuned in.
Yeah,
I mean, would you not say that Carlos Vela is the most successful Mexican player in MLS history?
Easily.
Probably.
After him, though, I mean, the gap is pretty wide. Giovanni Dos Santos, he felt like L.A.
Jorge Campos.
Jonah, so did Chicharito. Like, it just seems like the Mexican players don't pay off in MLS, so they should rather go for someone else. And then also, the Mexican fans don't really tune into MLS, so they probably, outside of LA, I think if you brought in, like, let's say a Mexican player to St. Louis, it really wouldn't change the attendance that much.
Look, man, I saw it from my first, from my experience. Like, I saw it firsthand with number one, Matias Almeida coming to San Jose, and then him bringing along Chofis, and he also brought in a couple other Chivas players. It did absolutely nothing. Like, there were some fans out there that would wear their Chivas jerseys and shit and support, but it's not enough. It's not enough to support a team that you have no connection to.
Jaime, come on! That team made you get up and go watch them. That team made you go to the stadium.
Not really, dude.
All right, I guess we're retelling history. Okay. I don't know. I just think that there needs to be more. And I don't want this, because then they're gonna take Mexican talent away from Liga MX, or they might bring back, more players from Europe and stuff. But if these teams with big Latino bases, they need to, they just need to have bigger Latino names, I guess, is what I'm saying. The fact that Portland, again, very Mexican city, the fact that they've only had a few Mexican players, and the biggest, most known one is Jose Van Ranking, like, that is...
All right, Sombrerito, I'll put it to you this way. Portland gets Ochoa and Henry Martin. They're playing playoffs this Saturday night. But this Saturday night, it's also America and Liguilla Vuelta. Are you staying home to watch the America game? They're at the same time. Or are you going to watch the Portland game and support Ochoa and Henry Martin?
I'm going to go watch the game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're talking about a Mexican legend in Ochoa. Henry's, I also consider him a Mexican legend. You guys will not agree with that. But he's an America legend. Yeah, I'm going to go see the people that I've watched on my TV screen for fucking 2 decades, right? Well, not Henry, but...
joy out of Portland moving on than America?
No, it's not about that. It would be about seeing my favorite players.
No, man.
That's the only reason why I went, bro. I haven't seen... The last time I went to a Timbers game was when LAFC came to visit, and guess who was there? It was Vela. That's the last time I went to go watch a Timbers game. So yeah, bigger Mexican names.
How many Mexicans have that motion though? Not many.
No, not many. Not many, but the ones that do not come to Portland. You're telling me not a single one? And again, I think if they had a few, and it's hard to say who's like who's like a fringe national team player that maybe sometimes goes. Maybe okay, let's say if Timbers had Ramon Juarez, right? Let's say Timbers had Ramon Juarez and maybe
Chiquito Sanchez, bro.
Yeah, Chiquito Sanchez. I think people would go out to watch games. Maybe I wouldn't. I would not go there. But I think there's people that'd be like, yeah, let's go see Chiquito Sanchez. Especially, he would probably light up the fucking MLS.
Bro,
You need players with whom the Mexican fan base can identify with, not just somebody who stirs up the feelings of like, oh yeah, I saw him score goals at Pachuca, I saw him score goals at America, X, Y, and Z. I want somebody that my kids can look up to and be like, "Ira, way, you see that little short brown fucker? He looks just like you. Si le echas ganas, tú también puedes, mijo."
yeah, but I would like to see maybe some more friendlies out there in Portland. That'd be cool. I don't think they have the capacity to host like a Mexico game, right? That's a pretty small stadium, right? Maybe like what, 18, 20,000 fans fit in that thing or what?
Yeah, it's a very small stadium, which is the good thing about it because no matter where you sit, it's a great view.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I really think again, it's called Soccer City USA, right? And it just showed. And there was a lot of those America fans weren't just from Portland. They came from Washington, some from Northern California. They made it a whole thing. And it was part of the reason why is because America doesn't come out here. And I think Chivas, if Chivas came out here to play the Timbers, I think it would be a similar thing.
Oh,
but
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I did see some turncoats, man. I didn't like that. I saw some Timbers fans with like the Chivas jerseys around their backs and stuff, and they were talking shit. And I was like, come on, man. Yo, like because I saw a couple people with just Chivas jerseys, and I was like, okay, you're standing on business. You're just here to see Mexican soccer, right? That's cool. But like, you don't wear the Timber stuff and then the Chivas shit and talk some shit like come on, you're a turncoat.
They're probably some of our fans. We do have some people listening to us out in Portland. So yeah.
You know what? And to those fans, fuck you, bro. Rep your shit. All right? Don't be all like, oh, ¿sabes qué? I'm going to go to the Tianguis and get that like half Portland, half Chivas jersey. No, señor.
Sombrerito's trying to get one on Etsy, bro. He's trying to get that half America, half Timbers, half jersey, right?
Whoa. No.
If you don't stop, we're going to have issues, bro.
Yo. Etsy's too high end, bro. It's more like Shein.
Shein. That's funny.
Why are you getting mad, Sombrerito? You're the one writing a letter to the front office that you want more America players on the roster so you can go to the game.
That way he can root for them undercover. He has an excuse.
I want some more Mexican players, not just America players, but I don't know. It's just, again, we just have such a big Mexican community, and it's honestly sad to see not many Mexican players play here. And there's just, I mean, I don't know anybody on the team. I think his name's Diego Chara, but he's like been on the team for so fucking long. But yeah, I mean, if they want to help the Timbers identify with the Mexican community or Latino community, they got to do better. And it's simple as that. But it was a good match. Definitely it was a good time, bro. It was a good time, which is unfortunate because I don't, you never want to give MLS and Leagues Cup all their props and stuff, but for what it was really fun. And it was interesting to see that Almada came out with not the starters, and it still didn't matter. They came out with with some substitutions on the starting 11, and they won handily. So it's cool.
Another topic that's been of discussion is the lack of transfers to Europe. I know Joel he's been triggered by all these posts from all these.
Espérate, güey, ¿qué pedo? You're forgetting the one team that's actually pipiando right now.
Who?
Cruz Azul, papa.
Cruz Azul, bro.
Cruz Azul, invicto in Leagues Cup.
Oh my God.
All
bro.
right.
Who gives a shit, dude?
If you're not watching them play, that's because you're sleeping on them. They're fucking putting in a performance out there.
Who have they beat?
Who have they beat? Güey, con Wikidios solo, pinche morenazo de toda mi vida.
Who did they beat, though? Who did they beat?
They beat New York. They've beat
which one?
What's it? Haha, good one, right? New York FC. And
Ah,
NYFC, they also beat Ron's favorite MLS team,
the Union.
the Philly Union. Pero wait, the most impressive thing is the way the whole team is performing, right? Everybody comes down to defend. It's total football that's being displayed, and it's fucking amazing. Now, furthermore, just like with Sombrerito, in New York, it was all Cruz Azul fans in there. Times Square, hicieron el banderazo con un putazo de Cruz Azul fans taking over Times Square. Like, lo que mueve Cruz Azul y lo que causa Cruz Azul is fucking wild. So much so that they went against the Rocky curse and fucking beat it.
Oh, it'll come back
Alright.
later. It'll come back later.
So, mira, señor, ya te partimos la madre una vez in like the last 6 months. Si quieres otra, no hay pedo, te la vuelvo a dar. Pero, güey, no mames, de que estás ninguneando el torneo nomás porque you're eating sour grapes, that's a whole fucking different thing. All right? If you're not watching the whole games, like, let's be honest, man, Atlanta's putting in a decent showing. They're surprising me because they're doing fairly well.
They lost their second game like 4-0.
Hey. I said decent showing, all right? I didn't say fucking lighting the world on fire. I said decent showing. All right? So, like, just because you're over here eating sour grapes, that's not my fault, all right? And as the famous words are, ya, Gonzalo, te están viendo tus hijos. Siempre haces lo mismo.
Hey, but I mean, in terms of like los grandes de Liga MX, like Pumas, bro. Pumas are also been dog walked, and it's like, dude, all the teams are eliminated already.
Bro, a Pumas ya le echaron cal. Don't even worry about them.
Yeah, pues I want to see Jolie mad. So can we talk about the transfer thing?
Yeah, there's these.
Wait, why would I be mad?
These Twitter accounts basically comparing us to MLS and how MLS has been exporting players to Europe, and in Mexico we've actually gone backwards, and we have 2 Mexican national team players in the second division in the EPL, and that's Raul Jimenez and Edson Alvarez. So it's like, bro, we we're going backwards, man. But I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Huh?
I don't see how Mexico's going backwards. That's never been a goal for Mexico or for the clubs, because the Mexican league's never been an exporters club. They import, they bring in good players, and they try to retain their best players. And it's sort of like, as Mexico fans or Liga, you should want the Liga MX as strong as possible. But we kind of have this behavior of send the players to Europe. It's like a mental midget. Send your best players, send them as soon as they start playing good. The sooner the better. It's like, what's up with that, man? Seriously, I don't understand that mentality. At that point, you're country over club. You don't really give a shit about the clubs. You just want to see the national team do good. And if that's your thing, it's cool if that's your thing. But if you're following a team, you want to be doing stuff like Cruz Azul. Last thing you want to be doing is selling any speck of talent that comes through your youth ranks. And to see it as kind of like a fracaso, or like Mexico's doing something wrong, I don't see it. Look at the youth tourneys. Mexico's been dominating. They've been overplaying the U.S. that's supposedly producing better talent, because that's what's being used as the metric. How many players have they sent abroad? But that's always been the case. If we go all the way back to US 94, no MLS, no professional league. They had like 4 players in Europe. Mexico had 2. I think Hugo Sanchez, I don't know if he had already returned to America. I think it was just one. Luis Garcia at Atletico Madrid, which was already returning. Technically 0. And you could go down the list like that. They've always sent more players. That's never meant anything. And they've never even been able to do what Mexico just did, where they pretty much won every tournament in every category. So I don't, this obsession of wanting to go abroad, I don't get it, man. I think if you're that
Go
obsessed,
ahead.
you're not into Liga MX. You're into Champions League and all that other bullshit.
That's the whole point right there. I'm not trying to get a yellow card here, but I think it's because you don't watch all these other competitions. That's why you don't care.
I
But
used to watch him.
me
But
personally, I consume all the competitions. So
yeah,
I love tuning in to a Chivas game. And then there's Champions League, and Tecatito, Diego Reyes are playing for Porto versus like Atletico de Madrid. I even remember Diego Reyes got subbed out in the first half because how bad he was doing.
Oh, that was
Or
embarrassing.
Hector Herrera, he's with Atletico de Madrid playing in Champions League. The way I see it is like if they're doing good here, let's send them out so they can do good over there, and let's bring up more stars within our league. Let's have stars on both sides of the pond. I want to watch La Liga with Mexicans. I want to watch Liga MX with Mexicans. I want to watch Champions League with Mexicans. I don't think it's like, please, I wish we were good enough. No, it's just like I watch every league. I want to watch some people that look like me. There's nothing wrong with that.
there's none. But I mean, to me, I only give a shit about Chivas. I don't really care for any other teams, and I don't need to see a Mexican player for me to want to watch like Barcelona versus whoever. I think ultimately though, if we are to have that amount of players, it's gonna come from the league being good. Like the way you have the Brazilian league, the Argentine league, they're very competitive. That they're able to produce all this talent. They're not selling because the league, it's cheeks. The only exception to this rule has been Uruguay. I don't know what's going on over there. They seem to have that exception where the league's not really strong, but they're able to produce all this talent and send it abroad. But they're like an outlier compared to like, traditional teams where that produce a lot of really good players. I don't know, man. Too much obsession with going to Europe. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't. I think.
Well, your voice is cutting in and out. I don't know if it's on anybody else's end, but yeah, it sounds like a robot. Yeah, maybe check your internet, but
Wait. Are you telling me that Joel is a Decepticon?
he's a replicant. But anyways, I get it. You want a strong domestic league, but I also think that we can afford to send some players, our best players, to Europe. Like we should be able to have our cake and eat it too, and replace them with younger players. I mean, you look at Chivas right now, and Gabriel Milito has a problem on his hands. He doesn't know who to start. He's got some very strong, prospects with Samirinda, with Camberos, and with Santi Sandoval. And then he just got in refuerzos. We can afford to have players, a strong domestic league, but also export some of our best players to Europe and compete at the top clubs. And yeah, I think for the World Cup that we had, I expected at least to see a couple players go abroad. Every week it seems like Eric Lira is very close to signing, but it goes nowhere. And the last development in that one was he was offered to one of the leagues out there in the Middle East. I forgot which one. UAE. Yeah. And that Cruz Azul agreed on the transfer, but the player doesn't want to go there. So how's that going to work out?
Yo, I'm with Habibi on this one. He needs a fucking better agent. Like he needs to drop that shitty ass like team that he has and just get a whole new team. Like, no mames, güey. The best offer that he can get you is from the UAE? Fuck out of here.
I'm sure it's a lot of money, though.
Wait, he's
Chucky Lozano. He punched his coach in the face.
Did he?
Kicked off the team, and now he got a pay raise to leave. That's the power of an agent.
Yeah, the Chucky Lozano development is fucking crazy.
Eso también es el marketing.
San Diego, they brought him on as their designated player, as the new team in the league. They gave him the key to the city, and then it all fizzled out within the first season. And the coach said he is not in their plans. He has no intention of playing him, and he rotted on the bench most of this year, missed out on a ticket to the World Cup, and what looked to be like another season of him riding pine. He ends up getting a better deal at LA Galaxy. Now he's their DP, and he's getting a pay bump. It's like, damn, bro, that's how you do it.
But was that the newest development that Lira didn't want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said no. He said, fuck that. I'm not going to that shitty ass league. Like, there's something better for me out there. So he's going to grind it out.
Damn.
Which
I didn't see that.
Yo, like, you know what, man? This is a hard one because it does have me, like, conflicted and kind of fucked up on it. Because I want him to do well, right? I want him to do better. But at the same time, Cruz Azul fucking needs him. All right. When after Cruz Azul, not even, it was after they won. He said his goodbyes. He did all that. And I was like, fuck, bro. Just like Joe Exotic, I'll never recover from this. Like, I don't know how Cruz Azul was going to replace him. And luckily now we don't have to worry about that. All right. He's still putting in these strong performances. He's still doing all of these things. If anything, who gives a shit, bro? The Mexican tournament is a short tournament. Like Joel said in the last episode, really all that we're counting is a half a season, which means he can leave at the winter window, and hopefully better people come around. Because, you know, once you have a Leagues Cup, once you're bicampeón and you're able to put all of these accolades to your name, what more do you want?
All right, relax. If somebody offers you 14 melones for Lira, bro, you take that and you run.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cruz Azul tried taking him.
No. But you should, in my opinion, if I was in your position, I would want him to go so I could have the 14 million and invest it.
But we
don't need it.
Does the player get some of that? I feel like they don't, right? Like part of their transfer?
I think the agents might.
There's a finder's fee. There's all of those things. Now, the way that it typically tends to go is that they will get a signing bonus, but that buying him out and all that shit, the player doesn't get any of that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, I saw behind the scenes video of Lira at his house. He has a big Funko Pop collection.
Oh, God.
I just think he doesn't want to leave because he doesn't want to travel with his Funkos that far.
Bro, anybody that buys Funko Pops, there gotta be something wrong with them, man.
I agree, man. Once I saw that, I knew I couldn't support him.
Stop laughing at Joel, guys.
I'm gonna come in with a hot take, all right? Funko Pops are nothing more than our generation's Precious Moments dolls.
I don't know what that is, but maybe Beanie Babies?
No, bro, look them up. Precious Moments. Like the little statues, the little figurines that your abuelita and your mom had.
Oh,
that's what the shit from South Park now.
Oh, I remember those.
Now usually two kids,
but they don't have like pop culture though. It's not like there's a.
Pero wait, los ojos, the stature of it, the proportions, it's all the same.
I don't know. All I know is like the thing about Funko Pops and what makes them popular is like the whole pop culture shit. Like, you know, you can get one of like Deadpool and shit. And it's like, who gives a, I don't know. I don't understand the, I don't get it, bro. It's a waste of money.
Wait, look, Jolie got Funko Pops?
Who?
Jolie?
No, I don't collect that.
All right. I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I don't collect them, but I do have a Goku Super Saiyan. And I have a Gohan Super Saiyan.
I have a Itchy and Scratchy.
They were Christmas
They were gifted
gifts.
to me.
Exactly.
Igual,
exactly. No fue como que se los fui a comprar ni nada, güey. Me los regalaron.
Two is a collection.
Bro, I bought one. I bought a Kobe one that for a gift, and it's worth like 300 now or something.
Damn.
Way back, way back. Yeah. So some of those could cost a lot of money.
You're talking about cuando todavía estaba vivo?
That sounds like Beanie Babies.
No, I bought it when he was alive, but then after he passed, a lot of his stuff just went up in price.
Yeah, dude. Anybody at the professional level that collects Funko Pops, bro, there's gotta be something wrong with you. You gotta fire your agent.
But you don't collect anything, Hammond?
Like, I don't know if you guys follow like basketball, but was it LaMelo Ball showed his house, and it's like, bro, it's like if like a elementary school kid had access to like millions of dollars, that's exactly how you would spend it. Just like a bunch of bullshit, dude.
His house looked awful. Oh my god.
It was
I,
so
I don't have-
sad.
I don't have
Someone
any
said
friends like
he
that.
lives in a vape shop, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, exactly. A vape shop. Oh my god, like imagine having so much money and not having any sort of taste. It makes no sense to me.
They need to make a show of like pro players that went broke. Maybe that's already a thing. I don't really know reality TV like that, but I would watch the shit out of that. Cause like, yeah, no shit, you're broke, dude. Like spending on bullshit.
Yo, you know what? I know reality TV. I know trash TV, and unfortunately, they don't have that. I would watch the shit out of it.
I would watch the shit out of that too, man.
You know what they do have coming up though? TLC has the best fucking show that's gonna come out all year long. All right, it's called The Secret House Life of Suburban Moms, and it follows the life of like I think it's like 4 or 5 moms that have OnlyFans, and it does like it's gonna arch like their whole family life, their kids, and
Hit me at
everything.
OnlyFans.
Oh hell no.
It's gonna be one of the best and worst things on TV, and I can't fucking wait.
Joel lives in Orange County, so he sees that every day.
I might have to watch that now because I was at a place where college girls go to earn their tuition, and the guy sitting next to me was talking to me about it. So, must be a must watch.
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna make waves. I think it might be out now. Like this shit's hot on the streets.
Another rumor is Santi Jimenez. It looks like Porto is interested in his services. And at this point, I think he should take anything that comes his way. Milan is obviously like out of the question. He needs to score goals. And if it has to be at Porto, then so be it. Porto has done really well for Mexicans. I mean, at one point they had like 5, right? They had Layun, Herrera, Tecatito. Who else did they have? Gudinho, Layun.
Diego
Is that where
Reyes.
Jimenez went?
No, Raul went to
Benfica?
Benfica. Yeah.
Well, if we could do the same for him and revive his career.
Mira, güey, aquí está otra pinche hot take, and I want you to take this one to the bank. All right, Italy's fucking cursed. All right, he needs to get out of like Italy, their entire football structure, and most of all, the country in general. Because if in case you haven't heard, Italy and most of their economy is somehow miraculously backed by cheese.
Hell yeah.
As of right now, there are concerns within like Italian banking institutions about the fact that it's been like uncharacteristically warm for the past couple months, which has caused for the national cheese reserves
Oh shit.
to be too hot, and they're at the point to spoil. Local farmers can get up to 1,000 euros per wheel of cheese as a loan.
Bro,
So therefore,
Italy-
the farmers.
Italy doesn't fuck with their cheese, bro. They have cheese that's been brewing for like hundreds of years, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's like they take that shit super serious, bro.
Their economy is backed by cheese, bro. You can take a wheel of parm to a bank and get €1,000 loan for it.
As you
They're
should,
gonna take your cheese and put it in a vault.
bro. As you should, man. Let's go back to the days when you would just trade, bro. Like, I got fucking
True.
eggs. Let me get
Okay,
some
my
ham, you
Funko
know?
Pops.
Let's go back to a cashless society where we just grow our shit. Dude, right now, the most exciting thing in my house is a lemon tree that my suegro gave us a year ago, and it's finally starting to produce some lemons, bro. So I'm about to have some lemons, and I'm excited, bro. It's exciting. It's like you don't have to go to the
Nice.
grocery store and get lemons anymore. Unfortunately, our avocado tree died. We had 2 of them that they just didn't like the dirt. But shit, dude, let's go back to that. I want to get some chickens. Fuck.
You know what, Jaime? Unfortunately, I married white, so I'm gonna need a little bit of clarification. I need to know the color of said lemons, because I need to know if they're lemons or they're limes.
Lemons, amarillo.
No, güey, ahí es donde la cagaste. Necesitas los verdes. Necesitas limones.
Yeah, limes. I have room for both, so I might do that too.
Here's a little warning. I don't know how like the white people lemons comes, but the Mexican ones have thorns in them,
Yeah. No, these have thorns.
so they'll fuck you up.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, what the fuck? I did not know that. I'm about to look it. I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, dude, the Mexican ones have fucking thorns.
Bro, I know this because like my grandma on the edge of her property, like between the house and the fence, she had a big ass lime tree, right? Like chingonon. So when the kids were there and we were playing like tag or hide and seek, siempre había un pendejo, myself, who would run by the side of the house and just get fucking shredded by it. Like every year. Ahora, hablando de cosas que están agrias, I want to bring this up. We kind of moved a little bit past it, but in League's Cup, it's not just the Mexicans who are complaining about it. Yesterday, the New York FC coaches were complaining about el arbitraje mexicano. So now they're complaining. Now they want their own refs. They want to play at home. They don't want to travel. They want all of these things, but yet they want for Mexican teams to have to crisscross the entire fucking country to play them. Es una mamada, güey. El avión de Cruz Azul hoy tuvo que hacer un aterrizaje de emergencia porque tuvo problemas mecánicos en el aire. What was it, 2 years ago? We had Leon who were in very similar situations, and they had to sleep in an airport.
Yeah, dude.
So like there's all of these things that are just telling us is like, wait, si no aguantan vara, si no nos quieren, si nos ningunean, ¿qué putas estamos haciendo aquí?
I think a simple tweak to League's Cup, instead of doing Liga MX for 2 jornadas and then doing League's Cup, I think I would feel better about the tournament if it started first, like almost like a preseason, and then Liga MX started jornada 1 without interruptions. I don't know why they don't do it like that. I think it would be ideal for both fan bases, but who knows?
That's the way the first real one, right? Because we had the pilot episode, and then we had the actual first fully fledged Leagues Cup. The first one was a preseason tournament for us. The problem was that Mexican teams started complaining because at the time that was being played, the MLS was halfway through their season already. So they were at a massive disadvantage. Then the second iteration of it, they said, ¿sabes qué? We'll move the league forward. We'll give the teams 3 games to warm up, get into shape, do all of those things, work out the kinks, essentially, and then go into this competition. Now, this is the 3rd time, y aquí estamos.
No, take it back to a preseason tournament. I don't like the interruption.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they force everyone to play, the group stage and then a knockout phase. They should just do it how they do Champions League. Like Champions League has a group stage. Well, actually, I don't know if they still have a group stage now. I know it's like a whole league table now, but just have those games been playing like midweek, but then don't suspend the season. Just play those games midweek and then come back to Mexico and then have it take longer, but that way it's fair, and have home and away too. I think that would be cool.
I mean, did you not hear the statements from the LAFC coach? He was saying how going into Toluca isn't just like a one like a special venue in Mexico, but rather it is a special venue in the world, because the intensity, the way the hinchada like supports the whole time, el Nemesio Diaz como se hace pesar, is completely fucking wild. So therefore, he recognized how difficult it is for American opposition to go into Mexico, to go into those settings and have to fight for a win. He said, we cannot take for granted the advantage that MLS teams have playing at home.
Yeah, it's fine. Just do home and away. Have each team get to the opportunity to play in front of their fans. So that would extend the group stage from 3 games to 6 games. It's fine, but do it again. Break it up. Break it up during the regular season, and I think that would be worth competing for. But the way it's being done right now, MLS doesn't want it. We don't want it. It's just like, why are we still doing this? And with that, we're at the 2-hour mark. So let's put a bow tie on this episode and give everyone their opportunity for closing thoughts. Before that, we did get a comment on YouTube. Love what you guys are doing. I need y'all to make more episodes. I'm getting tired of replaying the old episodes. The people have spoken. That's actually why we're recording on a Monday instead of our typical Tuesday. But with that, we'll allow you guys to have your closing thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Let me go first real quick. All I want to say is we don't fuck with the MLS. We don't fuck with Leagues Cup. But it is what it is. It's a thing. If your favorite Liga MX team is coming to your city, spend the money. It's not too much money, but I did kind of have a little plug. I saw a lot of people saying that the Timbers fans were priced out. And it's like, come on, man. Like, Portland Timbers fans don't got $200. Like, come on. I think that's an excuse. But if your favorite team comes and visits your city, go out and watch them, bro. Go out, make a whole day of it, pre-game, get you some pineapple cider. Just have a ball. It's a very fun environment. Most of these stadiums are small, so no matter where you sit, if you get the cheapest ticket, you still got a pretty good view. Just enjoy it, man. And I don't know if I guess technically America's like a contender for this, so we'll see what happens. But it was a good Sunday. I'll say that. And with that, peace out.
Awesome. Thank you, Sombrerito. Not sure how I feel about that pineapple cider, but hey, you gotta try everything once. Who's next?
Está bueno, putos, pues. I'll go next, entonces. My closing thought is, güey, Cruz Azul. ¿Lo están viendo? Are you seeing the work that fucking Wikidios is doing? Most importantly, have you seen the way that he engages, not just with the players, but with the fan base? When he went out to have his post-match press conference, you know what he said? Because they asked him, hey, how are you keeping the players motivated? What are you doing differently in order for your team to be putting these type of performances? And he said, I'll tell you guys the same thing that I just told them before coming out here. Watching you guys play is a joy. Being able to help you guys achieve what you have achieved has been nothing less than a pleasure. The way that you're playing is incredible. And with that, no mames, güey. Cruz Azul is playing total football. Cruz Azul is doing all of the things that we've always wanted it to do. Entonces, I'm here for it. All right? Give me the Leagues Cup. Give me CONCACAF. Give me all of these things. Pero por favor, güey, don't make me wait for them. Don't give me the full drought that our own fans have to go through of I have to wait a whole fucking week to watch my favorite show, to listen to my favorite show. No mames, güey. If we're gonna be, si vamos a estar manoseando y le vamos a estar metiendo 3 dedos en la concha a esta competencia, ¿por qué no la ponemos a la mitad de la semana? Give me that thing. You know what's one of the best things about the last season that we had of Liga MX was the fact that we tried to cram all of these matches in before the World Cup started, and we were having games midweek. It was glorious. Pero, pues ni modo, güey. Me tengo que esperar para que me lleguen todos esos trofeos y todo lo demás. Pero neta, güey, at the same time, I'm not saying that I'm okay with it, but I feel a little bit relieved because my kit is starting to look like a NASCAR kit, man. Like, I have too many patches. I've been doing too much winning. And unfortunately, it's not even because I'm selling a lot of advertising. It's just because I win that many trophies. Y con eso les digo, hasta la próxima.
For sure, Abdias. Yeah, I think at one point we had 4 episodes in a week during the World Cup, but now that that's gone, now we've gone back to our once a week cadence. Who's next?
I will say that keeping up with Wiki is probably like Jaime keeping up with Sub-20. It has to be very, not mainstream, but what has been mainstream for me, Abdias, has been Costalito, because I see like MLS, Apple TV commentators retweeting him and everything. So whatever Cruz Azul is doing off the field with Costalito, keep it up. That's going to inspire a new generation of paint sniffers. Now, as far as Chivas, I think it's going to be at the end of the season. We're going to be in Liguilla. I'm not worried about it. And if you're a believer like me, you can be a degenerate and go to Bet365. Bet365, if you want to sponsor us, here we are. And they'll give you 60% return on your money if you put that Chivas will finish top 6 in the standings. Not champions, not Liguilla, top 6, 60% on your money. So, you put $1,000, they'll give you 600. And then I think that is very feasible. And then another thing I want to talk about, Chivas, que es mexicano, que no es mexicano. One thing I do know is that we are all Latinos, and I do want to send out a prayer to my Colombian Latino brothers. I saw the earthquake news today. I've been seeing a lot of horrible footage. And, now it seems like we're no longer going to be just Latino brothers, but Conmebol brothers. So if Mexico has dealt with one thing, it's earthquakes. If there's anything you guys need, we'll be there for you. And let's get back to this Liga MX show.
For sure. BB, thank you for joining us. And yes, our hearts go out to all the Colombians out there dealing with that earthquake. Well, take us home.
I feel a lot of this going on right now with Mexico, all this stuff coming out of the news. I think it's a lot of posturing. And I think Mexico's trying to do eventually what favors them, what's going to put them in a better position. I know they're trying to get some tournaments to host, so we'll see what happens with that. I still think they should push for Copa America. I think they can win it. It's very feasible. I don't think we mentioned this thing about because Mexico won the CONCACAF U20 qualifiers, and it was the 2-4-1, and I don't like that, which is the qualifier for the FIFA World Cup. Is it the FIFA World Cup? Jaime?
What was that? I can barely hear you.
The qualifiers that Mexico just won.
Yeah.
It's 2-4-1.
Yes.
So it's Olympics. It's Olympics and U20 World Cup, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't really like that. But but as far as Olympics, they already discarded Marquez, so he will not be coaching um, the Olympic team, which I thought he might. Just because you see a good base of players come out of that Olympic team. Um, I don't think it's necessary. I just thought it might have been on this plan, but I guess it's not, and it's gonna be the same coach got ratified. They already said he's the one that's gonna be there. They're leaving him. Seems like they're propping that guy up. I forget his name. He's the guy that was at the, what was it with Mora? Was it in Chile, the under-17? It's the same coach.
Yeah, the bald guy.
So I don't. Yeah, it seems like they're propping him up for later on. So don't be surprised if this guy later, takes some type of position within the national teams. And that's pretty much it for me. I think you guys did a fantastic job covering everything. But I will say I agree with Diaz. I would prefer the midweek games. That to me would be better.
For sure, Joel. Thank you for joining us. To all of our listeners, we really appreciate all your support. Make sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. We do have a Discord server as well. If you want to hang out with us in between episodes, it's pretty lively in there. I think we just need to take it day by day. Chivas, obviously, very frustrating as a fan with all of the refuerzos that they've brought in, with, the foundation of this team being the base of La Selección. You expect to see more. I feel really bad for anybody that paid to see them at PayPal Park over the weekend, because those tickets were very expensive, $200 to $300, and the fans did their part. The team did not. But if this means, sandbagging so that we could focus on the regular season, rest our players, so be it. I'm okay with that, but obviously not happy that we have not been able to put the ball in the back of the net. At the end of the day, you can't win on expected goals per game. You can't win on possession. At the end of the day, you got to get the job done. But I'm confident that they'll get their shooting boots back on before the end of the season. And I'm excited to see these under 20 players that had an incredible showing get reincorporated back into the squad. Those training sessions must be intense. It's cutthroat out there. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Chivas will play Seattle to finish Leagues Cup, and then they will play Santos Laguna on Sunday. So there's still plenty of football to be played, and we will keep everyone informed with the developments that happen with Mexico and Gomebol and Gianni and Ariel. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a good night.